welcome to The Reload, your weekly recap of all of the game's news over the last 7 days, and a quick look at what's happening over the next week. I am, of course, Carl, and without any further ado, here's what happened. Microsoft kicked off last week's news in confusing fashion by announcing that Forza Horizon 1 for the Xbox 360 is nearing end-of-life status. Now, before you all get too worried, no, you'll still be able to play it if you own it. But what it means is that the driving title and all of its DLC will be removed from sale on the Xbox Live Marketplace on October 20th. Carpens, oh come on, there's got to be something decent I can use in here. At long last, the gamepad controls for Blizzard's team shooter Overwatch are getting a much-needed fix. In a post on the official blog, the dev team highlighted that the latest PTR client will introduce a new default control scheme called Dual Zone Mode, which will hopefully sort out the low sensitivity that players have been experiencing. It's news that console players definitely have been dying to hear since launch. Found one. Okay, right. It seems like Forza Horizon's finally run out of get. What do you mean we moved on to the next item? Oh, fuck. Don't know why I bother. While PC players have had them for a while, those that played the console version of Minecraft received new features last week. Polar bears, beet soup, and banner decorations have been added, along with the ability to make grass paths so that you don't have to lay out gravel all the damn time. It was also mistakenly announced in a now-deleted tweet that cross-platform play between PS4, Xbox One, and mobile versions will be happening soon. There is a catch though, as you'll have to rent one of the Minecraft Realms servers to do it. In other Minecraft news, it was announced that author Max Brooks, the writer of World War Z, as in the book, not the terrible Brad Pitt film, I cannot stress that enough, will be writing a novel set in the Minecraft universe. According to the announcement that happened at the recent Minecon, Minecraft the Island is described as a cuboid Robinson Crusoe, but madder. If the book doesn't start with the main character having to dig a hole so he can survive his first night and then end with him dyeing all of his sheep a different colour, then I am going to criticise it for a lack of realism. Rise of Iron may not have impressed critics, but it hasn't stopped word emerging about Destiny 2. More specifically, the rumour mill is suggesting that a PC release is on the cards for Bungie's online shooter. According to sources who have spoken to Kotaku, most of the gameplay and open world mechanics will be getting a revamp, including towns and outposts to make the planet seem more alive and lived in. However, there has been some backlash to reports that Destiny 1 player characters will be left behind, going against the original promise that progression of a character would last over multiple titles and expansions. At this point, it is all rumour and speculation, but pundits believe that there is weight to these latest reports. Once again, the hopes of a Beyond Good and Evil sequel have begun to grow, as series creator Michel Ancel posted 2 images on his Instagram last week. The first looked like a young Peach with a man that some are theorising is Jade's father, and another of a character that looks like one of the humanoid sharks found in the game. While the reveals might be linked to last Friday's shareholder meeting, with Ubisoft still fighting a Vivendi takeover, let's hope that it means that a sequel to the cult classic really is in production. And who knows, it might actually beat Half-Life 3 out the door. EA may have shut its servers off in June 2014, but Battlefield 2142 is back in action on PC thanks to some dedicated fans. The Battlefield 2142 Revive project went live on the 23rd of September, and has reportedly had 11,000 players join the action since then. Now, if someone could do that for the Bad Company games, or, DICE actually make Bad Company 3, that'd be great. Make Bad Company 3. Make it, DICE! Speaking of Battlefield, we got our first look at the Battlefield 1 single player last week, which, in an alarming turn of events, actually looks pretty good, in an absolutely bloody horrific warfare kind of way. The cinematic trailer released at the start of the week gave us a taste of what looks like a very dramatic affair for multiple characters, but the 14 minutes of gameplay that debuted at Twitchcon showed how DICE are aiming to bring the horrific battles of the First World War to virtual life. Although I was pretty disappointed by the lack of Blackadder and Baldric, if I'm completely honest. The music of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim will be making its worldwide debut here in the UK next month. The Winterhold Philharmonic Orchestra and Choir will be performing new arrangements from the game's soundtrack, including the iconic Dragonborn theme at the London Palladium on November 16th. However, it has emerged that composer Jeremy Soule has absolutely nothing to do with the concert in question, going as far as stating on his Facebook page that anything performed would be a by-ear transcription job, implying that the end result may not be faithful to his original works. Whether that proves true remains to be seen, but it's an interesting development nonetheless. The divisive No Man's Sky was thrust back into the spotlight this week, as a Reddit user confirmed that the UK's Advertising Standards Agency is now investigating the indie title. The detailed post explains that there have been several complaints over the product page on Steam, which uses old trailers that highlight gameplay features and visuals that didn't reflect the final release, and as such are false advertising. If the complaint is upheld, the ASA can enforce both Hello Games and Steam to remove the content immediately, or face sanctions such as search engines removing paid-for adverts from popping up. I honestly never thought I would see another game vying for SimCity's crown of ultimate omnishambles, but here we are. Last weekend's Twitchcon kicked off with Amazon Game Studios finally revealing what they've been working on. The 3 games shown were Crucible, a last man standing arena game where live streaming hosts can also be in the world and affect its events, New World, a supernatural 18th century online sandbox where players can build their own existence, and Breakaway, a 4v4 arena hero brawler with a heavy esports focus. All 3 games have been built up with Twitch functionality in mind, allowing viewers to directly interact with the action or wager with a new type of loyalty currency on results. And finally, developers Campo Santo have announced that they are working with Good Universe, who brought Old Boy to the silver screen, in making an adaptation of Firewatch. Speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, Campo Santo founder Sean Vanneman said that he had signed the deal because he felt Good Universe recognise, cultivate and produce good stories. While the game itself was criticised for a weak conclusion, we hope that its translation to the non-interactive medium works out well. And of course, you can find links to all of those stories by heading over to Digital Outburst by clicking the link in the description box below, so do give that a look if anything has piqued your interest. But now it is time to take a look at what's coming out over the next 7 days. The long-awaited console version of Vermintide arrives this week, bringing the Warhammer-themed Left 4 Dead-style gameplay to a new audience. With 5 classes to choose from, some excellent level design, and a randomised loot system to improve characters, I recommend this one if you've got 3 other friends who are looking for some co-op action. The latest version of the guitar tutorial title Rocksmith gets a fresh update this week, which will be available to previous owners and newcomers alike. The remastered content includes customizable learning curves, expanded practice tools, stat tracking, and improved menus. If you buy one of the new retail versions, you'll also get 6 additional tracks. But do be warned that if you don't have an optical out audio solution, you could be at a risk of latency issues with the game. The Mobster action takes us to New Bordeaux this week with the release of Mafia III. The story this time revolves around Lincoln Clay and his mission to take down the Italian mob. Early hands-on previews hint at an open world being absolutely huge, and while players can go gun-ho, there will be alternative ways to tackle objectives, be it taking down the mob or running your own crime family. And the Wii U gets what is being considered as its last big release this week. Paper Mario Color Smash sends our usual heroes to Prism Island to investigate the sudden disappearance of colour in the familiar 2D in a 3D world. Those hoping for a return to the RPG elements of yesteryear will be disappointed, but it's been touted as a rather enjoyable adventure title that will keep Wii U fans entertained until a certain new console finally gets unveiled. As for freebies, this week's highlight is Core 6TH, an open source update for the classic Bullfrog title Theme Hospital. You'll need a copy of the original game, be it on physical CD or access to the digital version over on GOG or Origin, but Core 6TH not only adds support for modern operating systems, meaning no more DOS-box madness, but it brings support for higher resolutions and even the ability to create your own campaigns. It's perfect for those who want to revisit an absolute classic management sim without the compatibility madness. And that is it for this week's Reload. If you haven't already, be sure to head over to the Digital Outburst website, as we've got hands-on previews for Dishonored 2 and Little Nightmares, both of which are really worth checking out. Also, coming up this week, we will have our hands-on impressions for Sniper Elite 4 and my long-awaited review for the World of Warcraft expansion Legion. So be sure to stay tuned for those. But that is it for now. Be sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already to stay up to date with the videos as they're published. But I will see you next time. Bye-bye.